What's up, LA Sparks fans? We are back, and she is back. DJ Tracy Treese is here with me, Michael Matthew, as we prepare for this matchup tonight. The Atlanta Dream are coming into town, playing some good basketball, 3-2, but no Brittany Griner.
Yep.
But the Sparks, as we all know, are coming off of a victory, ending their 3-game skid. They look really good, DJ, but they got a tough one tonight. What do you expect with this matchup with the Dream?
I think this is a perfect matchup for us because they play the same style of basketball that the Sparks are playing. With Brittany Griner being out, Brianna Jones is going to step up. Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard are going to shoot lights out.
Yes.
Ryan Howard averages 10 three-pointer attempts every game. She's just shooting them up. So we'll see how it gets. Hopefully they don't get hot. But I think we're going to have a lot of defense on the perimeter.
See, last year they had some fits with Ryan. We remember down there in Long Beach, she went crazy because she going to get that ball up. But I'm happy that we got one of our stars back.
That's
Rakia Jackson is back. She's somebody that's going to get some minutes on Ryan Howard. What's the excitement level with Rakia returning? Because, you know, she's a key piece to this season and going forward for the Sparks.
I'm excited to see Rakia, but I want us to give her a pass today.
Okay.
Coming off of a concussion is dangerous. You don't really know, so let's not overexert her. We want to keep her for the long term and not burn her out in the early games. But I'm glad to see that she is back on the court, playing, hitting some three-pointers, looking good. She had on some brand new sneakers today. It just was a good feel. Good, feel good.
She makes Skechers look good. She might be the only one in the world.
I'm going to get me some.
She makes Skechers.
Her
Snoop. Snoop too. And I got to shout out Kawhi a little bit. But when it comes to the Sparks, coming off that win, KP went crazy doing her thing. Azurá Stevens has possibly been the team's MVP so far with her consistency. And Dearica Hamby showing her all-around game. How big do they need to be tonight to steal this win from a tough Atlanta Dream team?
I think they need to be as big as they can be, right? Dearica has played 3-on-3 in the Olympics with Ryan Howard, so she knows her very well. Dearica, help us out, girl. Tell us how to win. So I think she's actually keyed her team in on some ways to play against Ryan Howard, but also Jordan Canada. Canada is an ex-Spark, so we got a hometown hero in the building. So I think we have the matchup to our advantage as much as possible.
No, it's going to be a good one. We heard from Coach earlier, and Coach was like, hey, without us really being able to practice this game rehab, we need to make sure that we are consistent. And she loved what she saw in the last game. I talked to her before the game, and she was like, aggressiveness. Everyone showed it on both ends. We need to see that tonight, like Sarah Ashley Barker, what she was able to do. Odyssey has been hooping, doing her things lately. What do you expect to see from this team tonight as they try to pick up a back-to-back win?
I think Julie Allemand is going to be the standout tonight.
I like it.
She's our X factor. I think she's doing all the things that are the little extra things to get the job done, right? Maybe 5 assists. She got 4 rebounds, you know what I mean? So pulling it off the glass, pushing the pace, but also just playing basketball at her speed, I think can help the Sparks out and take a little bit of pressure off Odyssey Sims and Kelsey Plum.
Yeah, she's that true PG, and it's great because you were able to tap in with her one-on-one. Y'all going to be able to check that out. But before every game starts, y'all know we got you covered. We got to give our pick, so I'm excited to see who DJ got tonight. Who do you have tonight as the player of the game that can help the Sparks pick up this victory?
I think I'm going to give it to Azurá Stevens. I like that UConn matchup against the Bree Jones of it all. I think their size will make this interesting, and they both can shoot that three-pointer ball, so I'm going with Z.
I want to go with KP, but I think that's an easy move. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go, once again, Mama D. I think she's going to show that all-around game, shooting, scoring in the basket,
Michael hedging the bets, y'all. He hedging the bet, big Dearica.
Hey, because last game she had 6 steals. So she out there taking cookies, doing everything that this team needs. And they play through her at the 5 position, and she's going to play lights out. But, hey, Michael Matthew, DJ Tracy Treese, LA Sparks Weekly. Hey, it's going to be a good game. I hope y'all ready. Sparks Dreams up next.
Oh, no. Hey, Coach, DJ Infinity TV. Atlanta currently sits first in rebounds per game. Sorry about that. BG is currently out. Do you expect stars like Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard to take over the three-point game today?
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta's similar in terms of offense and what they're trying to do: score around the rim, shoot threes. Ryan averages 10 threes attempted a game, and she shoots for percentage, so it's not like, then you got a game plan for that. Alicia Gray can get going. So we've got to do a really good job of not getting over-rotated defensively to where we're giving up good catch and shoot threes. We've got to make them earn those. And with BG out, that changes them a little bit on the inside. With her and Bree Jones, they're big. So, hopefully she's feeling better, but she's not in tonight, so that changes their game plan a little bit.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach. Last game, late in the fourth, you kind of had a little bit of a lineup tweak there with Julie running with the starters. Just kind of what was your thought process, I guess, with that group there, and what did you see from that lineup that you thought worked?
Well, I think the key there was I wanted to get, they were sprinkling in some zone, and Julie's really good at getting us organized. And they were kind of going makes and misses. If they scored, they were back in the zone. Julie's also a tremendous three-point shooter. You haven't seen that yet, but she can really shoot. So that was the thinking with having her in. And it wasn't, wasn't good at that. It was just Julie, is elite at getting us organized. It gets KP off the ball where she can do more scoring on the wing against a zone. So that's what the decision was.
Coach, right here. Anthony DeLeon, LA Times. Rakia is listed as probable in the injury report. Will she be in the starting lineup, or is there like an ease and sort of a minutes restriction? In addition, how was her progress from the symptoms? Was it a standard like concussion timeline? And then finally, Julie was added to the injury report, but also probable. Any update on when that injury might have occurred, and what the plan with her is tonight?
Yeah, Rakia is gonna play unless something happens in warmups, but. Assuming that she's good, but she's been cleared medically. And, as to answer your question about her recovery through it, everybody's different. As I've said, like brain injuries, it's not an exact science. And so, our medical team did a tremendous job of just making sure her health is first. And, we don't want to mess around with concussions. But she's passed every kind of phase. And so as of yesterday, she was cleared to, she played a little 3-on-3 with some of our practice guys yesterday just to get used to that contact. But for tonight, she's not going to start. She needs to kind of get her sea legs, and it's not that she's just been out. She's, when you're in concussion protocol, you're very limited in what you can do physically, and so she, I don't anticipate her to have extended minutes just because of the fatigue factor. But we're excited to have her back. And we've certainly missed her, and it's good to have her back. And Julie, at some point late in the game, kind of fell on her hand, and so had that checked out and everything. So she's in some discomfort, but as far as I've heard as of now, she's good to go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Coach, when it comes to Stevens, she's had a really good start, best start of her career. What do you think is the main reason for that?
I think she fits perfectly in what we're trying to do. So, in essence, she's like a 6'7" wing, right? And our system allows her to play to her strengths. Where she I think is probably from college. She really understands cutting and spacing, and she, with the way we want to play, she's able to do a lot of that, a lot of catch and shoot. But the thing I've been most impressed with is just her physicality and willingness to defend and rebound. We knew what we got. We knew what we had with her on the offensive end, but I've been very impressed with her defensively. So she's been a huge catalyst for us. And the one game she didn't have a good game, and I told the team this, it's because we didn't play the way we're supposed to offensively. So most of her points come from those kickouts, cuts, that kind of thing, and we weren't ever doing it. And so she was, did Azare have a bad night? No, we didn't have a good night offensively. And, I think if our system's working and we're moving the ball and players are moving, then you're going to see Azare have a lot of opportunities.
John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. How do you approach a game against a coach on the other side that has so many parallels when it comes to offensive philosophy?
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I was talking with him before we intersected. We were walking out of shoot around, they were walking in, and I've known him just from the college ranks, but that's what I said. It's, it's kind of the tale of the same, similar styles. So I think we both know what gives that system fits, and I'm sure we're both going to try to do it.
Coach Mike Kilmack with LA Sparks Weekly. It seemed like the difference in the last game compared to some of the others everyone who got the ball was aggressive, looking to score. You saw Sarah Ashley, being aggressive, probably playing one of her best games. Was that something that you guys emphasized when it came into that game, and how would it help you guys today?
Yeah, I think, as players get more and more comfortable, when you get more comfortable, then you get more confident. When you're confident, then you start to play to your potential. And I think that's what you're seeing with Sarah Ashley and hopefully everybody, right? And, what I told them yesterday and today is we need consistency. We can't be peaks and valleys. We've got to be consistent with our aggressiveness, consistent with our urgency on defense, consistent with our, focus and to execute. And so that's what I'm looking for today. Like, it's been a stretch of game, rehab, game, rehab, game. And, players love it. And for me, it's we got to prepare them as best we can. But I want to see continued improvement in consistency.
Hey, Coach. Fredo Cervantes here with the Sporting Tribune. Was there, anything specifically after the last game on Sunday that maybe stood out to you and your coaching staff when you guys were watching film that maybe something you want to prep for tonight against the Dream?
I don't think anything that I didn't mention. Again, I think the way we moved the ball, passed it, shared it. I think defensively, we were able to make some adjustments, and the players did a good job changing our pick and roll coverage on the fly, changing our rotations on the fly. So again, every team's different. Every adjustment's going to be nuanced to who you're playing. So yeah, I don't have a great answer for that.
Hey, Coach. Jackie Ray TV. Kind of want to piggyback off of that because you said no matter what, win or lose, you need the team to turn the page. But when you're in this constant state of play, rehab, how do you keep them locked in on that narrative?
Well, you continue to reinforce the message, right? And I think consistency starts with me. Win or lose, I got to show up with the same work ethic and the same desire to win. And that comes across in how we prepare and how we talk and all the things. And these guys they're competitors. They want to win as bad as I do. They really do. So, a lot of new, and we're getting to the point where we can't use that anymore. But it is still learning one another and what everybody, it's as a group what we respond to and as individuals. And that's the beauty of a team sport. That's why I love doing it. That's the science. But I think it's just continuing to be consistent in the messaging and be consistent in the approach and mentality.
Coach, KP really wants those 10-plus assists. How do you get her double-digit assists tonight?
Well, tell her to pass the ball more. No, she'll get it. She'll get it. She's having a heck of a start. I have no doubt she'll get it, maybe tonight.
Hey, Coach. Nick Hamilton, Nightcast Media. Wanted to ask you just the difficulty that Brianna Jones presents on the floor, and how are you able to try to counter or even slow it down enough where they don't start getting off into transition and being able to score?
Yeah, she's good, and she's had a great start. I think she's fitting in well with what they're trying to do. She's an elite passer, and she'll catch it up at the top of the key and make plays. You double her in the post, she's really elite at that. She's almost better out of a double, which is counterintuitive. So we've got to mix things up, not let her get comfortable, and get back in defense. Transition defense in this league is huge. Atlanta will get out and run, but how do you beat a running team? You run it right back at them.
Last question, hi, Coach. Charlotte Moore, FI360 News. Coach, may have missed it, but Odyssey's been having a great first half. Talk about how can she get 2 halves like that from back-to-back games of just coming out strong in the first half?
Yeah, part of her reason in the second half, because I put in Julie to the question earlier. So she couldn't control that too much. But I think she's been tremendous, and her buy-in and commitment to the Sparks and what we're trying to do has been great. She is the more she is able to knock down those kick-out threes, the harder she's going to be to guard. And she's shooting at a good percentage. And so teams are going to have to choose. Her explosiveness is, her speed out of the starting blocks is amazing. It's impressive. So if teams are going to gamble and play with fire and continue to sag off her, if she can shoot for percentage, that's going to make our whole team better. But I'm proud of her. I think she's done a great job thus far, and we're going to need her down the stretch for sure.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate you all. Thank you.
What's going on, LA Sparks Weekly? It's DJ Tracy Treese, and I am here with Julie Allemand. Julie, welcome to the show, and welcome to LA. Your first couple of games, how's it feeling being a Spark?
Thank you. Well, it's amazing. I'm so glad to be back on the court. It wasn't easy for me because I was injured at the beginning of the season. Like, I couldn't even be able to be on the court like for the training camp, so it was tough. It's still tough for me to find my rhythm back, but I'm so excited and looking forward for this season. Like, it's been 3 years, I think I haven't been in the W, and I'm so excited to be back.
So far, you've had stats all across the board like we talked about in Media Day. Can you talk about what parts of your game you're working on?
I think being aggressive in offense, because most of the time people are expecting me to give the ball, like to pass the ball, and I think like it's time for me to show that I can also play for myself. But obviously, like being a leader on the court, like not only by example, but also being vocal. I think it's gonna be the most important thing for me this season, and just like, you know, get better every day. Like that's how I see things. Like never take anything for granted. Just like keep working every time, and of course, like you can improve in every different ways.
Thank you. And which one of your teammates so far has been helping you to like get your game adjusted a little bit more?
You know, it's not easy because we're playing a lot of games and we don't even have time to practice. So I just think it's gonna come like with the time and with the practice and with the game. But like everybody is trying to help me. So okay. I like this team. Like everybody is trying to. You know, when I was back on the court, they were like, just play your game. Like, you know basketball. You've been playing for so long now, so don't overthink. Like, just play your game.
Awesome. And last question, because you got them in your hand. Tell the fans what you're doing with these. Like, how is this a part of your training?
I can do it.
Go ahead.
Here we go. That's how I prepare. Oh, shit.
Little ball. All right. No. You didn't fail. That was perfect. But you're training, so that matters. Yeah. Right. So, LA Sparks Weekly fans, Julie Allemand is going to give us so many buckets this season. We're excited to have you as a Spark. Thank you so much for taking some time with us.
Thank you.
seeing your team in these close games and not being able to be out there to provide help?
I feel like I'm feeling better. That was the first concussion I've ever had, so no one wants to sit out and watch their team lose. But I feel like I'm back and my team has been growing and getting better. I feel like those were winnable games. We beat ourselves, but I feel like the team is getting better.
When you're out for, a couple games, you're sitting back there as a coach kind of watching the game and seeing how things turn out. How can you learn from that, which can help you when you return to the floor?
Yeah, I feel like, experience is the greatest teacher, but also being on the sidelines helps as well. And I feel like, just seeing where I can get to my spots and still learning the offense. This team is new, coach is new, so we're still trying to build that chemistry, but I feel like, again, we're turning in the right direction.
I saw you have a little combo there with Ryan. Just what's that relationship about, and how are you guys, able to even maybe help each other as you guys both grow as players?
Yeah, mine and Ryan's relationship has went all the way back to Mississippi State versus Kentucky days. It got heated when we played each other. Those games are always fun. Of course, she's always the top of the scout, so we just always been pretty cool as friends and things of that sort. She's joking, actually, she can have my LV luggage. I said, if you give me your chain, you can have it. So she's great people, great person, high character person, great player as well.
What has impressed you the most about the Sparks when you were out?
Just our tenacity and our ability. I feel like last game we got our mistakes quick. We would make one mistake, but then we would do 5 good things. I feel like the game prior, we would make one mistake and then do one thing good and then continue that trend. But I feel like last game we were eliminated.
After he's had a career year start kind of early on here, what's been the biggest difference between last year and this year from what you've seen from After?
I feel like she got a training camp up under her belt. Last year she was battling an injury, so I feel like having a training camp and then she was doing an arrival too. This is nothing new. Z's a bucket. She got the perfect touch around the rim anywhere. She can do a little bit of everything. So, this is nothing new. She worked her tail off, and I'm just proud to be able to witness it.
Coach even mentioned it, and throughout that 3-game skid, there was a little bit of frustration from the players wanting to get that win. What has the morale been like, since Sunday's win and the team kind of coming together?
Yeah, in this league, you gotta have next game mentality. Play one day off or practice, and then you back out of the game. So just learning from it, watching a lot of film, I feel like that helps growth.
I was excited. How was the team excited to see you back on the floor?
They were excited. I'm a pretty bashful person, so when they're like cheering and stuff, I just turn the other way. But they were excited.
Well, we're excited to see you back out here too. Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
You want to ask a question too? What did you have for breakfast?
What did I have today? Oh, I just had rice and shredded chicken and gravy for breakfast. It was weird, but it was good stuff.
Sounds great.
And so KP talked about in the locker room, she's like, hey, all the young players, they have the music. I don't know a lot of the stuff. What are you guys playing in the locker room? Like, what is some songs that you like to listen to get you prepared for a game?
Just some hype music.
Okay.
Gotta be there,
Oh, gotcha.
I would have not told for this.
Gotcha.
They all got their different flavors.
Exactly.
For sure, yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go! What's up,
Sparks Weekly. You already know me as DJ Treacy Trees, and today is a special episode of LA Sparks Weekly. The Sparks are playing the Atlanta Dream, and I have an Atlanta Dream legend, Angel Mccoughtry, with me.
What up, what up? We here. What's up, LA?
Welcome to the show, girl. Thanks so much for tapping in with us. Let's talk about the game a little bit. What are you seeing so far in the game that stands out to you?
I think the Sparks are aggressive on offense. They just got to get a little more aggressive on the defensive end, talk a little bit more, get some stops, and they can get rolling.
There you go. How does it feel watching your Atlanta Dream play here in LA?
I'm 50-50, you know, being an Atlanta Dream for so long, and obviously I live here in LA now, so I'm a fan of both.
I love that you're a fan of both and women's basketball in general. We'll talk a little bit later after the game, but real quick, what's your prediction? Who do you think is going to be your player of the game?
I'm like an Azrae Stevens on the Sparks, and I think that she's a player of the game.
All right. Hey, LA Sparks Weekly, you heard it here first. I didn't even talk to Angel. We on the same page. Azrae Stevens, we'll look out for it. Keep it locked here on LA Sparks Weekly.
Let's go.
Sparks fans, I know, again, it didn't go as well as we hoped. As the Sparks fall 88-82 here inside of Crypto.com Arena to the Atlanta Dream. I told you guys in the pregame we were going to have a WNBA legend with us, and we do. Angel Mccoughtry is here with Michael Matthew and DJ Treacy Trees. So, Angel, we got to talk about it. The Sparks got down, tried to make a push, but it wasn't enough. What did you see?
I think defensively they were lacking a little bit, especially on the three-point line.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Dream, woo! I didn't know they could hit threes like that. My goodness. They just killed it from the three, and the Sparks just never could recover from the line. I think that was the issue. Guarding that three-point line was big key tonight.
Yeah, what did you see, DJ, with that three-point shooting? Because it helped them close the game.
Yeah.
I'm standing next to a 7-time all-defensive WNBA player, so I'm going to say the same thing. It was a little bit of the defense. You know, the turnovers in transition. I asked Coach about the three-point shooting before the game. She said that she needed to look out for that. That was number one on the thing, but it looks like we got the light shot out tonight. It was just too much.
Yeah, because if you would have told me that they were only going to allow Brianna Jones to have 13 points and Ryan Howard 15, I would have said, oh, that sounds like a Sparks W. But they had their struggles offensively there until the fourth quarter.
Well, it was the bench. The bench came in and scored, double figures. So, I mean, the bench points was what really helped Atlanta tonight.
Yeah. And, it has to be something that the Sparks have to work on because their bench, I'm looking at the stats here, provided, 12 points, you know, and they're trying to find their way. Rakia's first game back after missing a couple games.
Yeah.
What did you see from Rakia in her short stint?
I think with Rakia, you could just tell maybe she's still not all the way 100%. But I'm glad they kind of put her out there so she can get her groove again. Each game she'll get better and better and better. But just her big body and her presence makes a difference. Whether we see it or not, like just her being out there. I felt like she could have just been out there more, especially in the clutch. I would have loved to see her out there. And just having that big body in there just makes a difference. That big guard. But she'll get it. She'll get it. It's coming back.
But so DJ is known for toxic positivity.
Oh,
she got her. We need to get the T-shirts and billboards made.
Some tees with that.
Yeah, I love it. But you saw, Kelsey Plum do what she do. Dearica Hamby, man, playmaking, scoring, doing everything. What were the positives you saw from those two as they kind of help get the Sparks back in this game, DJ?
Hey, the positive is those are our go-tos, right? Those are people that's going to give us our consistency. Mama D is that engine. KP, we were sitting there watching the game. I'm like, watch, KP about to go into GOAT mode. She hit a three off the dribble. So we get in the same kind of play. Z was in the post playing against Brianna. So you talking about how many points Brianna got, that's really Azrae Stevens' game right there.
And see, that's something I mentioned. Like in their wins, wins, Azare has been huge. But
Oh
in their
my gosh.
losses, teams find a way to keep her from getting
They
the
was
shots
fouling.
that she
That's how they
usually-
give
I
today.
do think a
Fouls.
couple of fouls was missed on Azare, but she got in a little bit of foul trouble, so she was
Yes.
kind of a little timid. She didn't want to get that 6 fouls, so that kind of hurt them in the end.
Yeah, and they need her to be, well and play well
Yeah.
to perform. But don't just listen to our greatness. Listen to the greatness from Coach Roberts, Dearica Hamby, and Kelsey Plum with the post-game presser.
What up,
Hey, ladies. DJ from Infinity TV. I'm going to have Angel do the question today.
Okay. I want to say I think you guys have a great team. You're very talented. Hey, and we always say that we want to get the kinks out early rather than later.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you guys, what do you want your identity to be? What do you feel like your identity can be as a team?
We want to be competitive. We want to be physical. We want to play hard for 40 minutes. We've been talking about we need to put 40 of it together. We're clearly a talented offensively, 1 through 12. We have a lot of different versatility and threats. Like we talk about, each game is going to be a different person, which is very good throughout this league. But we need to be physical and competitive. Hey, still here, you want to talk?
Questions for Coach. There's a 3-minute stretch, I think, in the third quarter where there weren't any points scored, and there's a few, times in the first and second quarter where the offense kind of stalled up. Why was that happening at times tonight?
I need to watch the film to really answer that, with some clear, concise clarity. So I don't know right now.
Coach Anthony DeLeon, LA Times. Obviously it didn't end the way you wanted, but can you just talk about the effort from the duo sitting next to you, the comfortability of the two,
Yeah.
the ability to keep you in games? This is the reason why you trade for Kelsey in the offseason, right?
Yeah, she's been unbelievable. And there's a lot of pressure on her.
He never talks, and all of a sudden he's got all the words.
It's a dose of perspective, right? Right there. Yeah, KP's been amazing, and there's, like I said, there's a lot of pressure on her, but she's done a great job handling that. And then, she's one of those type of players. Every time she shoots, you assume it's in, and it's a luxury to be able to coach that. And she just plays her ass off. And then Dearica's just been having unbelievable stat lines. I mean, tonight, 10 for 15 and 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals. Those are stupid numbers.
Yeah.
Her defense there in the second half got us back in it.
Yeah.
And my message to the group was, we've got to be able to put 40 minutes together, not get down, and then play with that urgency. We have the ability to play like that more. And that's what I'd like to see when we go in those spurts, or the droughts, to answer your question. Like, you got to get it back defensively and find some momentum there. You can't let a missed shot, a bad shot, a turnover affect how you play defensively, and I think we could get better at that.
Mike Hill, Matthew here, LA Sports Weekly. This is for you, Dearica. With your playmaking, as of late, it seems like 8 assists per game, is what you're doing.
Gotcha.
Just what are you seeing out there that is allowing you to not only score but find your teammates the way that you have been able to?
I think we talked about the versatility and the way the offense is set up. I'm usually the first person to touch the ball, so also this helps having KP here, running off of everything, hitting big time shots, and just making the right read.
John W. Davis, Southern California News Group. Both of you are WNBA champions. You know what it takes to win. You know the type of effort. You know that you got to play 40 minutes. At this point in the season, a couple games in, why do you feel like you're not able to do that yet as a team?
First and foremost, we've been in this position before, way before Vegas became what it became, and we were champions. So we enjoy the process. We've been a part of the process. We know that it's not it doesn't happen overnight, and it's not going to happen in the first 5 games of the season. And obviously we want to compete and we want to keep building, but perspective, this is a new group. We're learning a whole new system that's predicated on chemistry, movement, spacing. So yeah, we're not panicking.
For all you guys, what is it going to take to get over the hump in close games? You guys were able to get back into the fourth quarter in multiple games now, but just not finish. What's it going to take to just get over that hump?
It's tough. Like, you dig yourself a hole in any quarter. Tonight happened to be the second. And I feel like I could do a better job of like stopping runs, just getting us into stuff, getting people the ball, good shots, and I think we had a lot of good looks like around the rim early second quarter, just missed them, and then credit them. They came down and their offense, they play fast, they play in transition, and they banged like really timely threes. So. It's tough. This league is extremely tough. If you take your foot off the gas for a second, offensively or defensively, people make you pay. And even tonight, look at them, the people coming off the bench. You have Naz, 5 for 8, Shatori, 4 for 6. Like, that's a big deal, right? And it gives a bump to their team, and then the starters can finish. So, credit to them. I thought they made the plays they needed to make down the stretch to win the game, and that's something also too. Like to what Dee said is. When you have a group that's been together, like that group has been together for 3 years now. If you look around the best teams in the league, their group has been together for the longest. And that's just the continuity, the understanding of each other, the experience. And that takes time, and I know that like I'm not someone that is a patient human being. I'm working on it, but it's the reality of if you look at the top teams in the league, whether that's Minnesota, New York, Vegas, Seattle, their core group has been together for a long time. Atlanta, so we're going to continue to build, and I have faith that we'll get there.
This question is for KP. Just to piggyback off what you said, Coach has talked about how you're able to handle pressure, and then you said that you're not patient. Can you talk about how you're able to just handle the pressure so well?
Pressure, what do you mean?
Leader of this team and things of that nature.
I thought you meant the ball pressure when they just be holding me.
No, of course not.
Yeah, shoot. I think for me, I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I know this league is everything you have to take. There's nothing given to you. And so I understand the responsibility here, and that's why I get frustrated because I know, like, I'm hard on myself. I want to win. I want to affect winning at the highest level, and, we're close. We're close. If you watch these games, we're freaking right there. And so, for me, I don't think about it as pressure at all. I'm just a competitor and trying to learn and get it right.
Jackie Ray TV. Coach, this one is for you. KP and Dearica have already touched on this is a process. For you, is it a process as well as far as the rotations, especially late in the game when you are behind?
I don't know if it's a process. I think, subbing at the end, like what KP said, if we can have our depth come in and provide a lift and some scoring, then that gives them a little more breather and then they can play a little more rested. But that said, I thought Emma Cannon did a good job coming in tonight. Mm-hmm. Leah Tu King was really good. Didn't play last game, got in there and went 2 for 2, or 2 for 3. Got a couple big stops. So, we just need to continue to trust each other and build. I know that sounds so cheesy, but that's really what it is.
Amanda Scarlett, Sentinel. Just to piggyback off of that, the rookies, how have they been doing just in these early games? What kind of makes you proud of them? That's for all three of you guys.
It's tough. It's like SA. You're starting and you're guarding Ryan Howard. It's like not something that is just like an easy entry. But what I do know is they're competitors and they continue to respond. And that's what
super mature. Yeah, they come in, they work.
To Sanaya, SA, like
it's coachable
for sure. So I think it's really cool to see them continue to get better every game, and you just want that throughout the season, and they'll be great for us, continuing to be great for us too.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
So we're back. Angel, DJ, we heard from Coach, we heard from Dearica, KP. They were talking about, hey, we're a team that's young. We're learning. You played in the league.
Yes.
You're top 25 all time. Yep. You know what it's like to have these adjustments when it comes to these teams. Can you kind of feel their pain so far?
I love what Dearica said. They're not panicking, and that's maturity on their part. Yeah. They know, they've been in this league a long time. They're champions. They know what it takes to get there. So I just think step by step, Like you said, I know it does sound cheesy, but it's really step by step and finding their identity. Right now, they're trying to figure out that identity. That's why I asked that question. What do you want your identity to be? I think they have it in their mind. Now it's just time to just go out there and really perfect it.
Yeah.
DJ, what you think the identity is, DJ?
Shouts out to Dearica Hamby. She's a friend of the show. She must have been watching my Instagram because I literally posted yesterday and said, stop panicking about my Sparks, y'all. We are only 6 games into the season. You don't know what's going to happen. We got some people who are injured. Once everybody is fully rested and healthy,
it's
the
over.
playoffs are ours. You heard it here first.
And like we said, you rather have the kinks out now than later.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. So before we get out of here, after every game, we choose a player of the game, Angel, for the Sparks. You know, I know you probably want to give a little Atlanta some love. We'll say that for later. But for the Sparks, who do you got as your player of the game today?
I'm going to give it to Dearica. Dearica handled her business today.
Yeah. Who you got, DJ?
I'm going to give it to Azarae. The stats sheet really don't show it, but my girl was battling. She
was
was
battling.
giving that much effort, and you're not getting them foul calls. It's hard to keep your head in the game. I'm going to give it to Z.
And you got to guard Brianna.
Brianna.
That's a big body to guard. So I'm going to give it to
And I feel a little bit of the aches from the banging of her body, which is crazy. But I'm going to go with Mama D. I said it before the game. I knew she was going to have a big game. Her playmaking is what's really surprising me. Like, I knew she can go and score, she can rebound it, but these last few games, 8 assists in each of the games.
Come on, point forward.
Yeah, she's looking different. But we thank you guys for tuning in. We are back with you live stream. Friday night, 7 p.m. Inside of the studio, the Fantasy TV studio. The Aces, baby. They going to Vegas. Going against Asia.
It's getting spicy.
I got good feelings about this one. We beat the Aces 2 times last year.
Yeah, facts.
So that's a good matchup for the Sparks because they tend to underestimate us. But before we get off, big shouts out to Angel for joining us. Friend of the show.
Let me say this. We always have this thing, like, when you play against your opposite team, you just got this, like, you have this talk, like, I want to beat my opposing team, my old team. So get your mind right. I used to tell my girls when I was
2 post-Aces here. Dearica and KP.
All right, girls, get your mind right for the Aces.
Get your mind right, get your body right, do whatever you need because the Sparks need that dub. Michael, Angel, DJ, we see you guys later.